Good morning and happy Friday, my fellow Lioness. This is Christine Cataldo with your Daily Roar. Coming at you right from my bedside. So truth be told, I didn't do a lot of self-care yesterday and ended up staying up until about midnight doing work for my day job work. And it's amazing stuff. Awesome things going on. Super passionate about what I'm doing. I'm designing a virtual learning strategy for one of our clients. And so it's right there, right up my alley. Everything that I love, educating and stuff. But I was tired this morning. So I got up around 5 like I normally do. And I didn't go out and do a bike ride. I just went and got my coffee, hung out with my Beastie girls. I'm not going to say their names because they'll jump up here. But my 2 Aussie girls, just hung out with them, grabbed my yummy coffee, and started to listen to some podcasts that I love to listen to. One of them I stumbled across. It's, the name of it escapes me. The Happy Hour. It's called The Happy Hour, and it's a Christian woman, Jamie, that interviews other Christian women. And I found an episode with one of my favorite speakers that I admire and I would love to emulate, or not emulate, but like be like her, or just be in that realm where she is, because she's super amazing. Her name is Lisa Harper, and she's really into theology. She has been into biblical studies and preaching and just amazing stuff for the past, I don't know how many years. She also is a rather new mom. She's adopted a Haitian girl. Just adorable to see them on Instagram. So if you don't follow her, follow Lisa Harper on Instagram. And what I like about her is she's super edgy. I see a lot of me in her, or a lot of her in me, whatever. She likes to ramble, she says. She is, likes food, likes to, is honest about her physical appearance, about, being, maybe saying a few naughty words here and there, just honest about being raw and vulnerable and honest and authentic. And so I just love her, and she has this way of speaking that's just super awesome. Anyway, so I was listening to this post about one of her books, and this was an older podcast that I stumbled upon, and it's about her book, and I can't remember the title, but it's about being happy and about being okay with being happy and not just thinking that you need joy. And it was funny because it resonated with me, because I shy away from the word happy because it seems so superficial and not deep, soulful. So I love the word joy and everything about it. It makes me really close to God. But she talks about happy being something that is something that God wants us to be as well. And so in her talk today, she speaks about some times where she really didn't know that God loved her and that God adored her, and God didn't just accept her, but truly adored her. And she tells these stories, and the stories resonate with me. I even got tearful. I don't know. This is how I woke up. I fell asleep in my clothes. So this is me with no makeup and stuff. So, but I don't know if I have any smudges because I was crying when I was listening to this podcast because it resonated so well. That is why. She talks about individuals in her past and how she's, she suppressed that she was not fully healed, that she just suppressed, I need to be happy, I need to be joyful, I need to be happy, I need to be joyful, but really suppressed that healing that needed to be done. And you'll see in my posts lately, I am sharing the word awakened, because not just the Lioness, but I feel like I'm fully awake, and I want to share and coach and help and speak to other women that are not quite at that space, or maybe women that are at that space, and just share how we need to share with others, that we need to continue to become awakened. And sorry, my battery's dying. That we need to continue to become awakened and share with others how to awaken. Anyway, back to the story. she talks about these 2 times where these individuals made her feel so sad and so and that she wasn't worthy of being loved. And one of and both of them would resonate with me so close to stories that happened in my life. So one of her stories was about someone that she dated. She went out on a date with him, and he gave her a gift. She opens his box, and it's a beautiful dress. Can't even remember the maker, but it was like $1,000 dress. And so first of all, she was like, I'd never received such a gift. And second of all, she looks at the tag, and it's like 2 sizes too small. And he immediately wants her to try it on, and she's mortified. She's like, I can't try this on. I'm going to look just horrible in this dress. And so she gives all these reasons why, but he insists. And so finally she has to say, I can't try it on because it's 2 sizes too small. And he says to her, I know. I looked at your dress. I looked at a dress. I don't know where they were, what she had some clothes to the side, and he looked at the dress. And he proceeded to buy her this dress that was 2 sizes too small because he said, there's a fine line of, between someone that is just being that people like to be around, but someone that is just magnificent and someone that he could love. And if she was able to fit into that dress, that maybe he would be able to love her. And I started tearing up when I listened to this, because I can't imagine. No, I can't imagine, because this is something that happened to me, and it brought up this story about someone that I dated. I just can't imagine how to contain yourself when someone does something like that, when someone is so hateful, or someone is so just can't even get past the surface viewpoint, or just this, that book, that cover of the book, that the depth and the amazingness that we all are, to just say, I can't love you until you're a size 7, so to speak. So that was one story she told. The other story was someone that was highly educated. And again, this story resonates in my gut. And actually, these 2 stories, it was one person that I dated early on in my dating career that did this. So this person that was a PhD, double PhD, she says, would actually mute the phone when he got tired, when she got to a certain word count. And when he got tired of listening to her, because she rambled on and rambled on and rambled on. And she didn't realize that this was happening. So they'd be on the phone, she'd be talking, telling a story, doing her thing, and he would just mute it. And then finally she heard this beep, or she wouldn't hear him talking back, or there was no conversation. And she realized that this was happening, so she confronted him. And he says, yeah, I've been doing that because I figured that maybe you would get to a point where you could be more concise about your stories. And I thought, what a horrible thing. And as I listened to these things, tears were running down my eyes today, and I thought back, and I'm like, that was me. So that was me with, as my daughter called this person, fancy pants. So my daughter did, for all of these reasons, my daughter didn't care for this person, eventually, because he wasn't treating me how I should be treated. He wasn't respecting me. And in my situation, this person liked me, liked my shiny, outwardly spontaneous me, adventurous me. But then when it came down to it, to the real me and to my rambly self, I will ramble on. And that's just me. That's how I communicate. That's how I connect with people, is listening to their stories, sharing my stories, getting juicy with details, and trying to inspire them with amazing details and amazing just inspiration that may ramble on when I'm talking to them. When I get in my empathetic, intuitive way, that is how I connect with people. So he once told me, he's like, we can't talk on the phone. We can only text because you can't control yourself. And now I'm thinking, that's a pretty shitty way to say things to someone. He says, you're like a leaf on a tree. And he goes, I'm the root, I'm the stem. And he goes, I'm constantly having to bring you back to the base of the tree. You're off way down here in the details. And he goes, I just can't handle it. Now, again, this person was an attorney, or is an attorney. He was very left-brained. I'm right-brained, or I'm both, but I live well in the right-brained area. Very creative, very intuitive, but I can drive a project like no one's business. And I love technology, so that's the left side brain of me. But he said this, and it was just so hurtful. So he would actually make me like text him. And then when he said it was okay, then we could talk on the phone, or we could have face-to-face conversations. He had to control everything. And I think back and I'm like, that was someone that wasn't confident, someone that wasn't caring, someone that wasn't, didn't love me and make me feel worthy of being in this relationship. So it wasn't somewhere I needed to be. We had another conversation where I had lost this 100 pounds, and he knew I'd lost 100 pounds when I left my marriage. And he was is a cyclist, very fit, very thin, very put together, very whatever. And I'm here, me, gypsy, me, lioness, me. Like, I'm just authentic and raw and vulnerable. But it was early on in my dating, so I was so quick I wanted to please him. I wanted to make everyone happy. I wanted to, like, be in this, I was just searching for belonging. I was longing to be loved. I was longing to feel worthy. You know, and I look at that now, and listening to Lisa today, it just like all flooded back, and it was a triggered moment. So he said to me once, he's like, I just don't know if I can be with you. And we were actually doing this through a connection while he was off in some other country. We were having this conversation. And I'm like, why? And I was like begging him to stay with me. And he said, because you know what? You might gain your weight back. And I'm like, what a horrible thing to say. Like, what? Don't you love the insides of me? He's like, yeah, I do, but I couldn't be with you if you weren't thin. So I'm like, okay. You know, and now I'm like, I was just devastated. And now I'm like, oh, that was God going, exit stage right. Get him out of your life. So in the moment, I was thinking, God, you're not with me. And I know now God was right there with me, and he was clearing the runway for all this other amazing stuff, all these amazing people to come into my life. He was also making me realize that I shouldn't be with someone like that, because I need to be with someone that is going to run alongside with me, be with me in the highs as well as the lows, be with me in this place where I am now, where, you know, I'm not focused on the 40 pounds, but I'm saying the 40 pounds because that's about where I need to lose the weight to be living where I'm honoring my temple and being in a great space where I can serve abundantly. But if I would have stayed with this person, called fancy pants, as my daughter says, I wouldn't have met you all. I wouldn't be able to inspire you and you inspire me. We wouldn't have this community, My Pride Sisterhood, because I'd still be trying to please somebody, still looking for that belonging, still trying to fit into this, you know, this round hole in this square peg. And God knew better. God saw out here where I am. And, you know, I shouldn't have been there. But what a horrible way to be. What a horrible way to be. And I know many women are in that space. Men too. But we don't need to be in those spaces, because we have God that loves us. God loves us just as we are. So my motto is come as you are in all of my communities. Come as you are. Be kind, but come as you are. And show up as you are. Show up messy. Show up, you know, you have to be kind. So you can't like unload and be hateful. But come as you are and be messy. Be overweight. Be underweight. Be underemployed. Be overemployed. Be in a space where you have relationship issues that you're working on. Be all of that. And share it openly. Share it honestly. We don't want to live in our story. We don't want to live in our past. We want to continue to move forward. Eckhart Tolle is someone that I follow, and I love his theory about accepting where we are. So accept it, and spiritually accept where you are. Eckhart Tolle says, accept what you are, but strive to improve yourself. Keeping in your own lane, staying in your own lane, not worrying about the other people, focusing on where you need to go, but accepting this moment. And God will say that as well. Lean back into him and allow him to catch you right where you're at, because he's right there with you. But, try to live in his word. Try to emulate. We're not going to be like Jesus, but emulate what would Jesus do? Like, take a moment and have that checklist of what would Jesus do, and check in. When you feel like you're in that icky space, or you're doing hateful things, or you're not living in a godly way, like, check into that list that you have. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And really make sure you're doing that in your dating, in those relationships like I described with fancy pants. No, like, there's so many spaces where no. I am not going to be in there. My bar is set here, and I'm not lowering it for someone to make me feel unworthy or so I can belong. I'm keeping it here because I know God wants me to keep it here. God has that person in my life, or will be in my life, when the time is right. And right now, the people that are here are all those women in my life, all those men in my life that are friendships, family, whatever else. You're all here with me. You're all in this space with me. So, I talk about holding your circle tight. So that close circle, those people we call friends and family, and the people that love us will love us. They're right here with us. They're cheering us from right here. But when we have the moments where and I'm not saying the bar, but when we're in a low moment, they love us there. When we're in a high moment, they love us there. They don't say, you need to change before I can love you. They love us unconditionally. And that's how we need to love. And that's how we need to be loved, because that's what we're worthy of. So that is my big long ramble today. I have a timer here. So I have my timer because I try to keep it at 10 minutes, but I was so moved by Lisa Harper today that I need to share a little longer. I'm going to leave you with this post. So I'm reading a bunch of spiritual books. I'm reading a bunch of wellness books. I'm going through my primal training so that I can get myself in a space where I can serve abundantly, so I can feel better, because I feel pretty crappy some days because I have this extra weight. It's funny. 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. It makes you feel icky, spiritually icky. It makes me feel my head is not in the right space. My body's not in the right space, but I'm eating well this week and I'm feeling so much better. So one of the books that I'm reading is called the Pray Fit Diet. And it's opening. I have to read this too, because it's lovely. It says, life is not about body fat and muscle tone. It's about where our hearts are and His grace alone. It's not about the mirror or any other measurement, but in our service to others, reflecting the Son He sent. We are called to honor the body, honor our temple, but not for our praise or reward. We're just simple, humble stewards on a mission for the Lord. So eat right, train hard, but don't forget your purpose. I'm going to say that again. Eat right, train hard, but don't forget your purpose, what God has for you, my sisters. God sees your heart and not what is on the surface. So He loves you absolutely, unconditionally, adores you, not just accepts you, but adores you. You belong, my sisters. You belong, you belong, you belong. You don't just fit in. You're not just trying to fit in. God's not going, oh, well, maybe I'll accept you today because you are living clean. You're not sinning today. No, He accepts you unconditionally. Does He want you to do better? Yeah, absolutely. He wants you to be at your best, because then you can serve at a higher level. You can do things. You can pay it forward. You can help others. This is so amazing. So I'm going to actually type this up. I will give credit to this author. I will type it up and share it. But go forth today on this Friday and know that you're loved, know that you're worthy, and just show up as you are, my sisters, and then strive to honor God by honoring your temple and honoring And when I say honoring your temple, that's body, mind, and spirit. That's the sacred tire that I talk about. So honor that all, and you'll begin to feel healthier. You will be that bright light that's shining on others. So I'm looking at my camera here, and I see, thank you, Deborah, for showing up. I feel like Miss Marianne. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Joanna. And Mary, my soul sister. That I hope you're healing well. I love you. Have an amazing day. I love you all. Oodles to noodles. If someone else would get value out of this video, please share our group forward, My Pride Sisterhood, www.mypridesisterhood.com. If you're looking at it in YouTube or somewhere else, please pop into mypridesisterhood.com, join us, and share and care in that community. Have an amazing day. Peace out. Whoops. See, that's really vulnerable and raw. Like, totally dropped it on the ground. And there's Gracie. Say bye-bye. Can you say bye? Can you say bye? Say bye. Can you speak? No, I'm not gonna. Bye.